Bit of crosswind today, bit of clouds about 2,000 feet, I think.
Yeah.
This would be a great day, and beautiful day in Britain.
Yeah, that's right. It would.
Hi, I'm Damien Wills, CEO of the GoFly Group and Deputy Chief Flying Instructor for GoFly Aviation. COVID has really decimated the airline industry, and I've got a lot of friends who are out of work and lost their jobs. But on the flip side, some people have got disposable income, so they decided to learn to fly. So in that respect, we've been very lucky. Brent is actually learning to do his recreational instructor course. I think the lucky airline pilots are ones who actually had their instructor rating before, because they can actually reskill themselves during this time and perhaps even get a job instructing. So that's what Brent's doing.
My name's Brent Meredith. I'm former Virgin Australia captain from the 777 long haul. Due to COVID, unfortunately, we were made redundant, but at least there's some light at the end of the tunnel. We get to still do what we love, and that's doing a bit of flying while we're redundant. I spent 8 years on the 777, and it's always been my dream to do long haul flying, and I was privileged to be able to get that position and fly basically around the world. We used to do the routes out to Johannesburg, Abu Dhabi, Kuala Lumpur, and through to the US, and primarily the US. Okay, when COVID hit, we all thought that everything would be all right initially, and then as time went on, it became apparent that particularly the long haul part of Virgin was no longer required, with no international travel being available. And as a result, still having a skill as a pilot, I looked back at what I did in the past, which was working as a flying instructor, and I loved it. It was one of my most favourite things, and I wanted to retire as an instructor and just teach people what I've learnt over time.
So one of the issues when we go to look at people who've had their instructor rating, haven't flown for a while, and they've flown bigger aircraft. So Brent's a classic example. Hasn't been instructor for about 18 years. All automated, not a lot of hand flying, and hasn't been used to the methods of instruction. It's relearning all the techniques. So they tend to forget a lot of what we call the patter. Now, patter is the way an instructor phrases a lesson during the flight. Most of the converting applicants, students can fly the plane quite well. It's learning how to talk at the same time as flying accurately in an efficient way that the student understands. Today we'll be looking at revisiting effects controls. Although it's the first lesson a student will do, it's actually one of the hardest lessons for an instructor to get right as far as the patter is concerned and the flow of that lesson.
Talk me through it, Mr. Approach.
Okay, going around.
Yep.
So full power, right rudder, pitch the nose up to the horizon, and we'll climb out.
Yep. I teach students that if they're going to land anywhere more than a third down the runway,
Okay.
just go around.
Right.
Otherwise they're going to rush the landing.
Right, okay.
And
300 feet. Flaps one.
So today's flight went pretty well. We couldn't get stalls done or practice forced landings done, but we looked at effects controls. Look, overall he's pretty good with the effects controls. We just need to sharpen up his dialogue a little bit and to make sure that the patter, so his speech, is happening at the same time as when he's demonstrating. But he's almost there with the upper air sequences. Brent does need a bit more work in the circuit. I can still tell he's not really comfortable with the aircraft in the circuit, and also flying from the right hand side, which he hasn't done for a while. Common issue with instructor candidates, they've gone from flying left hand side command seat to right hand side. Because we're not sitting in the middle of the aircraft, they get parallax error. They think they're landing straight, and they're not landing straight, they're landing usually slightly to the right.
Yeah, spin's a bit low, put your nose down.
Check.
Yep.
Bang. Right. Okay, so runway's rising there, about 10 feet. Let's bring the power back. Hold the aircraft off the runway. Keep it straight with the rudder.
Turning base, runway 12
Left rudder, yep.
Have left rudder.
started on final.
Okay, so flaps to one,
Go for it.
full power. 60 knots, raise the nose, right rudder, adopt the climb attitude.
That was alright. Still got a bit of an alignment issue. I think you're looking to the prop maybe, so you're slightly off
Maybe.
centre.
Yeah.
I've got control. I'll just demo again out the pattern for the circuit.
Sure, you have control.
I've control.
Unfortunately, today's weather was a little bit bad, and I was hoping to get a few more sequences in. However, I did find it very challenging, particularly with the crosswind coming back in, the amount of traffic that was still around in the area, and just getting used to the procedures that are done at Caloundra as well. I was happy my pattern was coming together a little bit better on the effective controls. Hopefully get a bit more practice on some of the other ones as time goes on.
When I apply pressure to the right, so this time we're looking at the right rudder. Oh, sorry, the rudders. If I apply pressure to the right rudder, the nose will yaw to the right.
Try and pick a reference point. You know, it might be that road.
Yeah.
Going through there, just so it's a bit more obvious for them.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, using the road, I'll yaw the aircraft to the right by applying pressure on our right rudder.
Yep.
So if you look out the front, nose out the front there. There we are. Yaw to the right.
Yep.
Okay, and then back to wings level. Okay, so we'll clear left, right, and now I'll do one to the left. So I'll apply pressure to the left rudder.
Yep.
And looking out the front again, the aircraft will yaw to the left. Okay, and then back to straight and level.
Good.
So get you to have a go.
Yep, so have a go. Done that. Yep.
Okay. So in summary, the primary effect of the rudder is yawing.
Perfect.
And what will tend to happen is the more comfortable he gets with the aircraft, the easier he'll be able to talk through that sequence in the circuit. At the moment, he's still thinking a lot about flying the aircraft, so he's finding it hard to patter and talk through the sequence with the student. So I would say another 2 or 3 hours in circuit before he's ready, sort of for that flight test standard. The good news about Brent is, even though he's got all this experience as an airline captain, you know, flying 777s around the world, he's got no ego about him. Really humble, lovely guy, and very receptive to learn again, you know, from scratch if need be. So I've got no doubt Brent will do fine. Plenty of 3 or 4 hours of dual flight training, and then he'll be ready for his flight test.
At some stage, as the industry starts to recover, we'll probably get a telephone call and go back to flying the airliners again. But again, that's all predicated on what's going to happen with COVID. Coming back to recreational flying, it's been a little bit difficult to try to get the manipulation and you know, fly as well as I'd like to fly, and as professionally as I'd like to fly. But it's all starting to come together, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
If you would like to see more aviation videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you would like to watch some of our online lessons, visit gofly.online. If you would like to learn to fly, visit goflyaviation.com.au.